everyone, this is Phoebe from Street Style Surgery. I'm recording this how-to today for Play Place Youth Services. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make coiled paper pots. So these are made from newspaper. You can use any kind of thin paper like newspaper magazines, or if you've just got some plain paper around, different coloured plain paper, that's also fine. I'm going to show you how to make them whatever size you want to make them. So there's a really small one, this is the kind of medium sized one, and the same way of making means that you can go really big, really small, you can do lots of them. It's a really simple process. So all we're going to need is newspaper or magazines, as I said, any kind of thin paper, some scissors and some sellotape. So not many materials at all. So as you can see from this pot and this one, that once the pot's finished, you can see the design that was on the paper on the outside and on the inside, and it makes a really nice pattern. So what I did was go through and pick the pages that I thought had the nicest images on them, the most colour. So I'm going to start with this one just to show you how to cut it down. So what we're trying to do is to make lots of tubes like this. So the way to do it is, if you have a newspaper like I did, like a normal standard size newspaper, then fold it in half like it usually is with a newspaper. So fold it in half and then in half again. And then your paper will be in 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can just cut along those lines to give yourself 4 pieces to get started with. So then you're left with pieces about that size. And it doesn't matter, whatever you're using, you can cut it to about this size, but if it's not exact, that's fine. So as you can see, as I showed you, you end up being able to see what's on the outside. So I'm going to put the bit that I want to be facing, that I want to be visible, flat on the table, and then I start rolling from one of the corners. So I just turn over that back corner like that, and then just start folding and folding. So see, just slowly folding. You start quite small because it gradually gets bigger as you fold more paper into it. So you want to make sure you start quite small, otherwise it'll be too big by the end. So that's what it looks like halfway through. And again, that's what it looks like now. And then all we're going to do once we get to the end is just get a bit of tape from our roll and secure the end in place. So I'm just going to stick that on there and fold it around. And you can see that the colourful bit has ended up on the outside there, which is what I wanted. So just remember, if you want whatever you want to be on the visible side, you put face down on the table. So that's the process for making each of these bits of paper. If you're using something slightly thicker, then you want to cut it slightly smaller. If you're using newspaper, then you can cut it just like I did. Obviously, the thicker the paper, the harder it is to roll when there's a lot of it. So that's why you go slightly smaller if it's thicker. So what you want to do is make lots of these paper straws. So I've made some of them in advance. So the amount you make will depend on how big your bowl is. But it's quite a nice thing to do just while you're chatting to people or while you're watching TV. It's a kind of nice therapeutic little exercise, just rolling paper. So now I'm going to show you, once you've got all your rolled bits of paper, how to join them together. So you take your first one, whichever one that is, it doesn't matter, and you can just make a little opening at the end of one side, and then take your next piece and just slot it in. Sometimes it goes in really easily, sometimes if it happens to be one that you've rolled a bit bigger, it doesn't go in so easily, and then you just need to fold it at the end like that and pop it in, and then get a little bit of tape and secure it in place. So exactly where it's joined, which is here, you can see, I'm just going to tape onto the front and then roll it round the back so it's quite discreet, can't really be seen, but it holds them tightly in place. And then you just carry on like that for as many tubes as you have, or as long as you would like to do it for. So as I said, the longer your piece ends up, the bigger your bowl will be at the end. But it's nice to make lots of little bowls, or if you have the patience for it, you can make one big bowl and you can end up with something that you could use as like a fruit bowl, or to store bigger things in. You can also, when you're putting them together, you can think carefully about what colours you want to have next to each other. So I've got pink, yellow and blue. What I wanted was to have a colour and then a white one, and then a colour and then a white one, but didn't manage that. So now I'm going to start doing that. So now I've gone white, and I've got this darker one which I'm going to join on next. This is actually easier if you cut lots of bits of tape at the beginning and just line them up on the table or something, so that you don't have to keep doing it. And then it can be quite quick, really. I'm going to put my rainbow one next. So I'm just going to show you how to coil it. I would ideally go on for longer, but I'm just going to show you how it works. So you start at one end and you just fold it in. So you just fold, 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 round in a coil, and you want to keep it really tight. I'm going to try and make it really close. So can you see that it's ending up coiled round like this? So I'm just carrying on, coiling it round. It gets bigger and bigger, and you can see that now the blue has met the yellow. It looks quite good. Just trying to make an effort to keep the coil really tight. The tighter you manage to keep the coil, the more strong and with the least gaps your bowl will be at the end of it. There we go, we've got the pink coming in as well now. I'm just carrying on, coiling it round and round. You see, it's getting really quite good now, quite long. So once you get to the end, so that was, I've got this last bit that I need to tape back down. So just like we have with all the other times we've taped it down, just get a small bit of tape and secure it in place. Just tape over the end, but I'm going to do another couple of bits just to make sure it's really securely stuck down. Oh, I ruined the end of my tape. So I'm actually going to cut these bits of tape with my scissors so I can make them the same width. You see that? The same width as the paper, and then it can be really neat. So I'm going to cut 3 bits, all the same width as this. And I'm going to use them all just to secure the end, so it's really fastened in place, but it's still nice and neat because all the tape was cut the right size. So got that really nice and stuck down. So this is what you're left with, which is exactly what you want. Obviously, if you did more, then your coil might be this big, but the process is still the same. So once you got to this stage, to make it into your bowl shape, you just put it onto the table and then push lightly in the middle and pull the sides up. What you want to do is pull the sides just enough to loosen the coils, but not so much that the coils slip off each other. So you're just pushing that down. The reason to use the table is so that you can have a nice flat bottom, but once you've got that, the kind of flat bottom, so that your bowl will stand up, then it's probably easier to pick it up and just push them out gently with your hands. if they do uncoil, don't worry about it. You can either try and push them back in. So if that's uncoiled like that, you can just try and push it back in like this. Which did work that time, but if it doesn't, then you can just unwrap it and start again. No problem. So there we have my little bowl. I really like the colours on the yellow, blue and pink on the bottom, and then this colourful rainbow edge. It looks really good inside as well. So I'm going to use this to store stuff in. Thank you for watching. I hope some of you make your own little coiled paper bowls. Bye bye.